my last video, we took a deep dive into Kakashi as a first step into hopefully understanding the Naruto series and how I feel about it as a whole. In this video, we'll be discussing why I think, despite all of its flaws, the Naruto anime is so many people's gateway into anime, as well as where the anime went wrong. Just like my last video, if you want to see part 3 of this series, make sure to drop a like on the video. 15 likes in 3 days, and the final video of the series will be out next week. And seriously, get this video to the like goal because I think y'all will really enjoy the next video. As always, make sure to subscribe, hit the bell notification if you haven't, like the video, and comment down below for a chance of being featured in my next video. This week's winner is, well, there's 3, because I just like them all so much. So shout out to Jonathan Hart, Happy Mask Salesman, and Ryan M for their awesome comments. And with all that out of the way, let's get into the video. Other than the fact that the anime is super popular, why is it that Naruto is so many people's gateway into anime? The first thing that came into my mind was the way in which the characters were written to make them complex, yet relatable on a human level. Obviously, this doesn't apply to every character. Frankly, some characters are downright uninteresting. I'm looking at you, off-brand Sasuke. But for the most part, Kishimoto does a fantastic job at bringing an air of reality to an otherwise mystical world. Take the character of Itachi, for example. Not only is he one of the most complex characters in Naruto, but he's also one of the most human characters in all of anime. Itachi is an example of a character making a huge sacrifice in order to save the entire village, which plagues him for the rest of his life. His character shows us that there are consequences to all your actions, even if you ultimately think it is the best course of action. Itachi aside, there are a myriad of characters in the show that provide a different perspective to the typical character in anime. Heck, even Rock Lee, a character that admittedly gets relegated to the role of joke character in the latter half of the show, goes through the type of hardship and growth that is normally reserved for main protagonists. This entire point can be summed up by looking at the stories of Naruto and Sasuke. They don't have a linear and straightforward path to achieving their dreams. Hell, Sasuke doesn't even know what his dream is for like 90% of the series. The fact that nothing goes exactly how you think it would is a huge draw for me, especially when I was first starting out in anime. The second reason I think Naruto is one of the most popular gateway anime is the amazing world building and history. There are other long-running anime that have better world building, but those shows aren't as big of a gateway anime that Naruto is. The thing that really sets Naruto apart in both world building and history is the way key events or figures are shown off very early on, then fleshed out later at just the right moment. The most famous example of this is Madara Uchiha. He is first mentioned in the first episode of Shippuden and isn't fully introduced until episode 322. And as far as an introduction goes, I'd say his was pretty freaking good. Right when you start feeling like, ugh, I'm over 60 episodes into this arc, I'm starting to feel a little burnt out. The anime slaps you with one of the coolest scenes in all of anime and gets you hype all over again. This happens, albeit on a smaller scale, throughout the entire show. Whoa. Who's that weird snake guy? He seems pretty cool and awesome at the same time. Wait, what? There are jutsu that only certain people can use? Whoa, those are some huge takes. The other part to this point is the history, and oh my god. Name another anime with a richer history than this one, but I'm talking about the history of the Hidden Leaf Village in particular. I'm sorry, but I could not care less about the history of most countries in our world, but when they drop a juicy piece of backstory info on us in Naruto, mwah! Perfecto. At a base level, I find the Hidden Leaf Village an extremely interesting setting. So when you take the setting that I'm already interested in, but then flesh it out in a near perfect way by stressing all the intricacies of all the varying tribes and various people looking to push their agendas on the village, it really drives home my love for the history of this show. Now, the whole reason I brought up why Naruto is such a popular gateway into anime in the first place was to emphasize the fact that this series has such a large following from new anime fans. This is a problem because many people will think that the areas in which the Naruto anime goes wrong is the norm. The main 2 areas in which the Naruto anime sins the most is pacing, which I'll cover right now, and filler, which I'll cover in just a bit. The pacing of the show is most akin to a rhythmic heart... God, so dumb. The pacing in the show is most akin to an arrhythmic heartbeat. There are moments of fast-paced, amazing action and sheer badassery that leaves you wanting more, and then there are moments like the first 2 arcs of Shippuden, which leaves you wondering why a 2-second interaction is lasting for 5 minutes.
It's you, Sasuke.
Unfortunately,
the pacing is so bad that... You know what? Just hold on. Kennedy!
What?
Pick a number between 1 and 56.
40.
40?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, now I'm going to go to episode 40 and calculate how much wasted time there is versus how much of the time was actual content. I'll be honest, I thought at first that this was going to be a bad episode to use an example, because on the surface it looks kinda action-packed, but with a little more inspection, it is actually a pretty standard case of bad pacing. First of all, the episode starts out with a minute of recap, and then a minute and a half of the opening scene, so now you've lost 2 minutes and 30 seconds total. Factor in the 3 minutes and 10 seconds that we spend in the end credits in the preview for the next episode, and we're already down to 17 minutes and 10 seconds of possible content. Just to be clear, that's not how much content that we actually get in this episode, that's the amount of time that we have to do anything new in this episode. I'm gonna estimate here, but only about 40 to 50% of the next scenes were appropriately paced. Everything from walking back to the bridge to using slow panning shots were used to drag out every scene to its absolute limit. This is exactly what I'm talking about whenever I talk about the pacing in Naruto. An episode that involves a fight on a little rope bridge should not end on the same little rope bridge by the end of the episode. After we deduct all the wasted time and add in my other estimation, we are left with only about 8 to 9 minutes out of the possible 23 minutes of actual content, which even that is a bit slow in my opinion. I swear, half of the episodes in Shippuden could be condensed into like 25% of a regular episode and lose nothing of value. See, plenty of anime struggle with pacing at times, but not many modern anime struggle with pacing for most of the show. At least for part 1, I would like to just blame this all on the anime being a bit older, but Yu Yu Hakusho came out almost exactly a decade earlier and has some of the best pacing of all time. Quick aside, if you haven't yet, watch Yu Yu Hakusho. It is seriously one of the best animes of all time, and I will definitely be doing a video or two on it in the very near future. Once I listened back to the recording of this video, I decided it was missing a little something, so I decided to collaborate with my really great friend that I've known for years, and by that I mean somebody I met on Discord yesterday, Eddie Hates Anime, to add in a little bit of a different perspective to the video. So if you haven't already, go check him out. He's a really awesome YouTuber, and here's his take.
Hey everybody, it's Eddie Hates Anime here, and before I get into my piece of the video, I would like to thank Tyler for letting me in on this little Naruto, manga, and anime discussion. Now I see this in every Naruto manga or anime discussion, and no, I'm not going to ignore it, but I don't think this should be my main point. But, as we all know, the Naruto anime is plagued with fillers. I'm not going to take any points away from it for that, because a lot of anime has fillers, and as long as you can skip them, it shouldn't be too big of a deal. Now what I am going to be talking about is the fact that the Naruto anime does change quite a bit of things from the manga, whether it be appearance, what the characters do, or the actual plot itself. First off, the anime was really keen on showing that Shikamaru never smoked throughout the whole entire anime until he was an adult, because apparently they wanted to make it so they didn't promote kids smoking and whatnot, and I think that's stupid because, as we all know, they're fictional characters, so I don't think kids should really be trying to do what they do anyways, whether it be drinking beer or any other things that anime characters do. There are also many scenes in the anime where you can tell that they really tone down the bloodshed from the manga. Now, I know I said that filler wasn't exactly going to be a bad thing for the anime in my eyes just because you could skip it, but it becomes worse when you can't skip it. Now, we see in normal episodes, straight up canon episodes, sometimes there's a little bit of terrible pacing, and that's because they mixed in filler with canon episodes. So you could get like 4 minutes of canon and like 15 minutes of non-canon to make up one episode, and that's just really annoying in my eyes. Obviously, the manga doesn't have that. Now, one thing from the anime that's, I guess, filler, if you consider it filler, that I actually think is better, is Hinata. As in the manga, when she fights Pain, it's over in an instant. But in the anime, when she fights Pain, it's a pretty good fight that lasts a little bit. I mean, she still gets defeated, but it was still a good fight. And also, she gets a lot of attention in filler arcs and whatnot for her love towards the main character, which is kind of important as they end up actually becoming together and being a couple. So yeah, that's really all I have to say for this debate, unless it's not a debate, if I got the video wrong and it's actually just a discussion. I don't know, but yeah guys, it's been Eddie Hates Anime. Hopefully you guys check me out. Hopefully you guys like this video. Make sure to subscribe to Tyler. Let's go back to his part, or whatever. I don't know. I'm just gonna stop talking. Yeah.
Thanks, Eddie. Now for the moment you have all been waiting for. You know, every time I do that, it's not as cool as I wanted it to be, but here we are. Filler. The bane of any anime fan's existence. Well, that and getting a girlfriend. Naruto was one of the first anime I ever watched, and I was genuinely confused why every once in a while the anime would divert into absolute garbage. The problem with the filler, other than its frequency, is its length. Seriously, who thought it was a good idea to have 76 episodes of filler at the very end of Naruto, then just throw in a random canon episode and act like it's all good? They should be
fired. Get out of here.
Also, Naruto is not One Piece level in the quality of the filler. You aren't getting any G8 arcs. This is like bottom of the barrel trash tier filler. I can only think of one filler arc that I actually enjoyed throughout the entire series. Granted, when I figured out exactly what filler was, I did skip the rest of them. Now before you go off and write this in the comments, I understand why filler exists, and when it's used appropriately, I don't even have a problem with it. It's when nearly half of your show is horrible filler that I have a problem with it. And by the way, if you're going to add filler, do it in ways that add to the story. Show the daily life of the characters and the relationships that the main story doesn't give enough attention. But whatever you do not, let me repeat, do not make multiple episodes about a ninja ostrich. I'm just saying, who thought that was a good idea? Through all of its faults, Naruto shines through as the typical starter anime with the likes of Dragon Ball Z and Avatar: The Last Airbender. I've said this in the past, and I think it holds true now as well. The fact that I consider Naruto to be in my top 7 anime of all time is a testament to just how good the high points of the show are. Sure, some of the pacing might be trash at some points, and the filler is questionable, but you cannot argue with the sheer number of people who love Naruto despite all of those factors. Anything that can make you watch for over 400 non-filler episodes and like 100 filler episodes must be pretty good. In closing, if you somehow haven't yet, watch Naruto without the filler on fast forward, or just read the manga for the most pure experience possible. Thanks for watching the video. If you made it this far, go ahead and like, comment, and subscribe. If you haven't already, go check out Eddie from Eddie Hates Anime. He really came in clutch this week, and without him, I think this video would have been a little bit worse. Also, I'm going to be on his channel soon, too, so make sure you go hit subscribe over there to catch that video, and I'll see you guys next Sunday. Thanks for watching. Bye.